Is comparison and competition killing your relationship? Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now. What up? What up? What up? It's your boy JB coming at you live and direct. And you know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff, man. Y'all can get all of my information down in the description below. I need y'all to do me a favor, man. As soon as you come into the building, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that bell for notifications so you get alerted every time we drop one of these bangers. Y'all heard the topic. And tonight, once again, it's another family affair edition of the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. So y'all know who I got with me, my A1 from day one. I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell y'all what she's sipping on tonight, because we going to get into this thing. We going to peel the meat off the bone on this thing tonight. Let her introduce herself. Tell y'all what she drinking on tonight.
Thanks, JB, for having me back. It's your girl, Rhonda. You could, never mind about the IG part. But anyway, I'm sipping on tonight. I had to take it back to an oldie but goodie. I'm sipping on a Moscow Mule, except for, I'm going to call it the Tennessee Mule, because I'm doing the Jack Daniels
Okay.
Tennessee apple whiskey tonight with my ginger beer, my Fever Tree ginger beer. So that's what I'm sipping on tonight. So I may choke out. I got a little spice, a little kick to it, but just keep it moving.
She back in the game, y'all. She back in the game. Her information going to be down below. As always, man, we going to jump right into this thing. Is comparison and competition killing your relationship? Rhonda, when you got the topic, I take that back. I forgot, y'all. Hold on. I'm smoking my Aganorsa leaf, raw leaf, reserve. And man, this thing is hitting already. I got to turn this fan on so it'll stop blowing back in my face so I don't choke out myself. But this thing is good and smooth. And of course, guys, y'all know I got my tried and true. Let me show y'all the bottle, because I know some of y'all don't believe me. But we sipping on some Bullet tonight. Okay? So, Rhonda, when you got the topic, what were the first thoughts that came to your head?
For me, it was a resounding yes. Of course, comparison and competition can kill someone's relationship. From the standpoint of, again, I'm a big believer that if you don't know who you are, you should not be in a relationship. That's number one. But if you don't know who you are and you are in a relationship, how comparison and competition has to come up, because if you're the one not doing as much as the other person, or don't feel like you're where you feel like you should be in life, then it's always going to creep up in the back of your mind, unless that person has loved you to a point where just who you are is enough. Because sometimes we think that, hey, we have to be doing something in order to be like noticed, or to be saying, oh, I'm doing my part. Let me say it like that I'm doing my part in a relationship. So sometimes, like, you don't always have to be in competition with your partner, spouse, loved one, whatever the case may be. But I know it comes into play with a lot of people. You're going to go tit for tat, see who does what, and who, more importantly, who doesn't do it.
And I'm glad you, Rhonda. I'm glad. I like the way you pointed it out as internal competition and comparison.
Oh yeah, that's why.
Because I was going with external competition and comparison. Okay. But I like the way you just brought that out, as far as two people who are together competing against each other.
That's what I thought.
Because what I put, and y'all, this is what I'm telling y'all. We don't get together and discuss which way we're going to go on these podcasts before we get up here. Because she talking internal. I wasn't even going to talk about comparing yourself to both of you, to each other. I was going to take the route of is external. Are you comparing yourself to other couples? Comparing yourself to what you see on social media? No, but see, once again, I probably need to start talking to you before we just start jumping on these podcasts, because last week you got me when you said, no, is your relationship killing your job? It ain't your job killing your relationship. But I like the point.
Man, you know I'm going through. I'm going through. For the internal.
No, but look. I like what you said, though, because it's so true from an internal perspective. Now, guys,
Yeah.
when I first came up with the topic, my answer is no. I don't think comparison and competition is killing your relationship, because if
Mm.
you got to the point where you comparing and competing, whether it's external or internal, it was already over. You just looking for a way out. So the relationship is already dead, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. Because once you get to that point, and now y'all just saying, well, he got a promotion, I got to get a promotion. He bought himself a new car, I got to go get a new car.
Mm-hmm.
This couple over here, it went to Bali. We got to go to Bali, right? You just start looking at all this stuff, and at one point, one of the parties get tired of dealing, whether it's internal or external.
No,
And I just
oh
think,
yeah.
whether it's internal or external, one
Yeah.
person gets tired of it. One person gets tired of it first. But Rhonda, I like what you brought in. Let's stick a pin on this internal one, because
Mm-hmm.
now, let's be honest, like attracts like. So I like what you said, like attracts like. So more than likely, if I'm in corporate America, I'm going to be with somebody else who's in corporate America, right?
Mm-hmm.
If typically you're going to get with somebody who shares your professional aspirations. Typically,
And
now
who you're
sometimes you
around the
get
most, and who
who
you're
you're
around the
around the
most.
most.
Mm-hmm.
So Rhonda, what do you think starts triggering comparison and competition?
Low
What do you think
self-esteem,
starts?
depression, anxiety. Uh, want me to go on?
Yeah,
No,
I want to get your I want to get your take on it. Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it's a number of things that will have someone thinking twice about where they stand in a relationship. Again, people typically know what they bring to the table. Once they get to know somebody and they decide they're going to get into a relationship, because hopefully people are still out here at least dating each other for a little bit and saying, okay, well, I at least know this about this person, to know like, hey, what is it that we can do with each other, for each other, or what have you. And so if that is the case, then you start getting to the point where, like the example you use with being in corporate America, like if someone is excelling and then you're not, that is kind of deflating when you think about it. It's like, okay, well, I need to do something. And so instead, let me go find somebody who don't expect that much of me, and let me cheat
Mm-hmm.
real good and real quick, you know? And so, I mean, it doesn't make it right, but it just makes it easier. How many people going to take the hard path? No, we're wired to take the path of least resistance. Unless you have
Mm-hmm.
just
Yep.
grown to a point where you know that the bigger the challenge, the more you grow. And
Yeah.
everybody ain't ready for that growth. And so that's why I feel like, yeah, depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, mama daddy issues, all the things that could come into play when you start, which is why you would start comparing and being in competition with your partner.
And,
Um,
and that's why I'm glad you got to the mama and daddy, because y'all know what I always say. When it got told to me, it stayed in my spirit forever. Your problem ain't a what, it's a who.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Your probably your problem is not a what, it's a who. That depression, anxiety, all that is just a symptom of the who, right? And so I'm glad you brought that up, because I think what happens is, let's go if a couple is married and now they go around their tradition in their family. Couple can be happy as all get out. The miserable family member gonna ask that one question: when y'all gonna have some kids? Right? Now they ask when you gonna have
Mm-hmm.
some kids, because who are they comparing it to? They start comparing to when they had kids, or
They're
when
raggedy kids.
when your siblings started having kids and all this kind of stuff. Now all these comparisons start kicking in. You go back home questioning your relationship. Is my relationship consummated? If we don't, is my relationship less valid if I don't have these things that people try to compare us to? I was looking at the Steph Curry just announced that his wife was pregnant with child number
Mm-hmm.
4,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things they told her, she's 34 years old and it's a geriatric pregnancy.
Yeah, shame on America. But yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we tell somebody that a 34-year-old with all the medical advances, this girl eats healthy, this girl 34 years old is now geriatric when it comes to
It's
having a
been
baby?
Jerry. Yeah. I mean, anything like that is. It's unfortunate. She's like right on the cusp.
Yeah. And guess what,
Mm-hmm.
guys? So now the comparison kicks in. And now she's walking around with this guilt, like, am I putting my baby in danger because I'm having the fourth child at 34? Well, what, you
Y'all
wanted
could
her to
be
have the fourth?
85. Y'all could be 85 having babies. Make that make
And it's
sense.
funny. And I'm sitting there like, who's coming up with this stuff with all the medical advances? with all the medical advances, why is she being called geriatric when you see a 45-year-old out here, they can still look 25 if they're eating healthy and working out and have a healthy lifestyle. And so the reason, guys, I want to bring this up, the comparison and competition, is because this stuff sneaks into your relationship very subtly.
Mm-hmm.
It sneaks into your relationship subtly. And so that's why, Rhonda, I wanted your thought. I'm glad you brought up the internal one, because here's the deal. If you're involved in internal comparison and competition, the issue you got is you don't know what started it.
Mm-mm.
At least with external competition, you sitting on the couch, your significant other sitting on the couch, and they say, hey, I saw this social media post, I'm going to send it to you. Right? Okay, cool. That's when the competition begins. It starts with social media now, guys. That's when the competition and comparison start now. And here's the deal, guys. It worked both ways. I got to say this, because some of us are saying, well, damn, at least we ain't that bad. Sometimes somebody sees you something on social media, you say, well, shit, damn, we ain't that bad. Right? Okay,
Yeah.
I can feel a little bit better about myself. Then somebody else sees you something on social media and you say, wow, I am way behind where I should be, or I got to step my game up and that kind of thing. Tell me what you think when you hear me saying that, Ron.
Well, for one, I'm not in a relationship, so I don't even know how that would like. But I
You
get
talk
it.
to you
Like
talk to enough
I
people though.
I do. I do have a lot of friends that are either married or in some serious relationships. But um, no, it's true. Is when you see how people post all the great things that they do, the vacations and all of that, and then behind closed doors, you can't even stand the sight of that person
Mm-hmm.
walking around the house in their drawers or whatever they got on, and stuff like that. Like I think that's the norm, but that's what I wish real couples would talk about with these people that are in their lives that are coming up to get married. To talk about the real stuff like that. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna always like you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always love you, but I ain't gonna always like you type deal. I think it'll make it easier on people so they won't be in competition and comparison with their
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
relationship, right? And so, but again, if we're not healthy enough to know that we don't know how to move unless something is making us being a little toxicity, if something isn't like just making us mad, like that's the only way that we really know how to, we don't know
Yeah.
how to move unless there's that challenge there, and like, ooh, let's do that. And how come we just can't be and just, it doesn't have to be conflict. But then you'll have somebody that may have some little snarky remarks or something that may be like, oh, you thought you were doing good.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
they be
That's
like,
the
oh,
big.
ain't
This.
nobody think about your little old job. Ain't nobody think about
Yeah.
your little role at your little
Yeah.
job over there. Like, but then that right there is made
How
to
your little
instill
business? How your little business doing?
yes, right, instill doubt in your partner. But if that works for that person, then hey, that's on them. But if not, then that is an issue. Is that somebody that you really need to be with or not? But externally, you could also apply the same rules, because you could say, like, a woman could give another woman a compliment. It's not a big deal. But how many men, especially black men, you hear say, oh man, you know what, that dude look good too, man. Like, most guys can't say that. But your wife or your girlfriend or whoever could be like, oh, he is fine,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else's like, you know what I'm saying? Because we all have eyes, we're visual. And so then that right there could also instill some doubt into your spouse or significant other, because it's like, oh well, dang, here go my gut hanging over my little.
Why'd you suck mine in? Why'd you suck mine in? I'm like, hold on. Can she see that in the kit? Okay. All right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, well, we know the whole I was in while we on this thing right here. We gotta
When
gotta
they
go
say
again.
when they say tuck it in, it's tuck.
Yeah.
But Ron, I want to jump in there with something you said though.
Mhm.
I think we got to start recognizing when does the competition and comparison start. And the competition and comparison starts when your relationship becomes public. Because
Mm.
when it's private, you don't deal with none of this. Think about the first
You
time
just
you met
showing off for
somebody.
the person. You showing off for the
Man,
person.
well, but guess what? Y'all just vibing. Y'all getting to know each other. What they doing, you don't find no faults with. What they
I
doing,
say
you
the
don't find.
competition starts. I say it starts when you become official, not public, but when you become
Okay,
official.
okay, okay. I'll accept
Yeah.
that. So
Oh, you'll
official in
accept
public,
that?
you don't see
Okay.
that official in
Thank
public
you.
now. Rhonda deciphering some stuff now. Official and official and public is different. to R and
Yes.
B L and B T over here because
Yeah.
I thought official and public were the same thing. But hey,
You
I'll
can be
accept it.
official. You can be
Mm-hmm.
official and not be public. But it's
Okay.
a lot of people
Yeah.
out here public and not official.
What you
But
say?
they gonna treat you like they're
Ain't nobody more single. Ain't no more.
than these married folks out here. Than these married people. Y'all know how to do it.
But it's funny, Rhonda, you say that because I think that the reason why I wanted to do this, topic was because when y'all hear us say relationships, now we talking about significant others, dating, romantic, but this is
Mm-hmm.
also professional, family,
Absolutely.
personal, all this kind of stuff, right? If you start comparing yourself amongst yourself or comparing yourself amongst others, now you just walking around in a state of anger. Okay. And you know, if we don't get past that, comparison and competition is a sign that I don't like you at the same level anymore. Now I see you as an enemy, right? You ain't trying to compete and compare against a friend because what that friend does, that becomes motivation. That person becomes a mentor. That person doesn't become somebody you start hating because you
Mm-mm.
didn't reach that level.
No, I think
But
they do.
in reality, that's where the hate starts, right? In
Mm-hmm.
reality, that's where the hate starts. So, so hold on. I'm seeing Real Cigar K in the comments. When
Oh,
people share their woes on social media, the comments go crazy. It's like they only want to see what you're doing and like it to then turn around and judge the person. And one of the things you guys are going to find with that comment is people, once you get into this competitive and comparison thing, now you got to be ready to be judged because if you want to compete with me, I have the right to judge you. You're competing with me. If you're complimenting me, if you're collaborative with me, why do I have to criticize you? Why do I have to judge you? What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Ron? Because look, it's getting to the point now in social media, all you do is go straight to the comment. Don't nobody care about what was posted. They go straight to the
well,
comments now.
I read the post. I don't go read the post. But no, them
Ron is still
comments
old
sometimes
school.
I'm very old school. But sometimes them comments are something. But I only
Mm-hmm.
read them until you say, Rhonda, make sure you read the comments. Then I'll go down into the comments. But no, like if you know that there's a part of you that feel like there's I don't want to say role reversal, and I know we touched
Mm-hmm.
on this before on a previous podcast, but if you can't let the man be the man and the woman be the woman in a relationship or marriage or whatever the case may be, then you always gonna have problems, right? And if that person knows like, hey, well, in this area I'm great, so let me handle this part. No, you're not stepping on nobody's toes. Everybody like know that they are at least doing what nobody's offended. Let me say it like that. And nowadays, people get easily offended because you can't even say certain things now, whether that's on your own post or on social media, like these podcasts and certain things, without people deciphering everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just use this real quick as an example. I can care less about Princess Kate and the shirt being altered, but to everybody else, that meant a lot. You know,
Stop
like
right there.
you just
Stop
don't know
right
what's
there, because you just preached. Y'all are
it meant a
out
lot
here.
though.
Y'all are out here in a commoner relationship, trying to tell people who in a royal relationship. And did
Yeah.
y'all see Adobe Photo Editor? Stock price shot up. She got it wrong, and it shot up the stock price.
No, I didn't
See,
know that.
we out here talking about feelings. Now she probably just put herself in a position where she gonna get an endorsement from them because she just increased their business. How much today on the stock market? I saw that in the news. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, we are so judgmental that now it's just like, oh, Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp got out of that car at Total Wine, and now Total Wine talking about an
Yeah.
endorsement,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so so when y'all are seeing that y'all are judging these people on what they should and should not do, these people getting business deals.
Yeah.
These
Mm-hmm.
people becoming more relevant. You sitting on your little Twitter finger thing and your little Instagram fingers, not getting nothing for your opinion, not getting nothing for your failure. Some of
Mm-hmm.
these people are getting bank. because they are past the stage where they are competing and comparing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say all that. I say all that to say this, guys. I asked Rhonda when does it start, and I like that we talked about when it becomes official, right? Because when you start comparing that relationship, that's when the end starts to happen. Because you never recover from it. You never recover from it, and quit happened long before stop occurs. When you know somebody's quit on you, is when they start comparing you internally or comparing you externally. And I'm gonna say
That's
something that you
human
said.
nature,
Go ahead.
though. I think that's
Well,
human nature, though.
Brian, I'm gonna tell you like this: because we never got taught things correctly, we don't know how to handle competition. If y'all get down into my members only section, I just did a video. Haters are the
Mm-hmm.
only motivators. We only know how to move when somebody hating on us. If you positive with
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm gonna sit right on my couch and do nothing. But if you tell me, Jeff, you ain't nothing, I can't. There, you ain't gonna ever be nothing. Your daddy won't nothing. All that kind of stuff people do.
No, they better not go that
Now,
far. Mm-hmm.
now they
Mm-hmm.
get yeah, right. But that's what. But when people start talking to you like that, right? When people start talking to you like that, that's when you get off your couch. That's when you start operating differently. You work out differently. You plan differently. You're more purposeful. Your vision becomes clearer. Haters are our only motivators. And that's what the algorithm on all these social media things try to put something positive out there on your YouTube or social media page. Ain't
And you
nobody
ain't
gonna pick it
already
up.
established. And you ain't
Yeah,
already established.
yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Because what
Yeah.
does the Bible say? The Bible says a poor man's wisdom is despised. So you can go out
Because
there,
what you poor for trying to tell somebody something.
but what you trying to tell somebody
Tell
something,
somebody, yes.
right? You ain't got the 30 followers, right? We look
Mm-hmm.
at those numbers matter. Real Cigar K is in the chat, guys, and she's talking
Tessa
about
was coming.
the Tessa, the girl, the girl who dropped her own little miniseries on
Oh,
TikTok. She was on Good Morning America a while back, right?
okay. Mm-hmm.
Told all her business, right? They talking now, and now the husband saying that it's a lie and all this kind of stuff, guys. See, now they're competing against one another. He's seeing that she's going viral and he's not. So now you got two people who can't stand each other, but one gonna get some bank and the other
Mm-hmm.
one is not. So that
Well,
hatred is
you got it. It's offense and defense. Which one would you
mm-hmm.
rather play?
Mm-hmm.
People here for that off, like you know what I'm saying. Like they here for, oh, this is what she's put out there. And I haven't watched it. Well, I haven't even watched not one episode. I guess that's kind of bad, but
Mm-hmm.
for me to even be speaking on it like that. But it's sad that people don't realize an opportunity when they see one. She saw
Mm-hmm.
an opportunity and she probably did start this thing off because something had happened real bad. She's like, oh, you know what? Let me get up here on TikTok and just say what I'm going to say. And then it snowballed into other things. The only thing about the comparison and competition, people don't know how to work with somebody so that everybody could excel. Everybody get a piece of the money that's out here. And no, but you get caught up in your feelings and then you got to walk away like, ooh, let me just get my stuff and go home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you ain't had to tell my business. You ain't had to put that out there like that. But yes, you did. Because people, we're here for the drama. We're here for the drama.
Yes. And guess what, guys? Everybody's so busy hiding their business that the person who's willing to let their business go out there becomes wealthy, goes viral. And it's the saddest thing because we never got taught like that. See, guys, the reason why I'm talking about is it killing your relationship is no, it didn't kill it, but it's putting a nail in the coffin. See, your relationship already dead once. Once you start
It's
comparing,
official.
it's a once
Just
once
like,
you start comparing,
just
once you start
saying.
comparing and
I'm just
criticizing,
saying.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, that becomes the nail in the your relationship can't recover once comparison and competition kicks in. Now, Ronnie, you know I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this article real fast so we can get this in and out of the way. Y'all know
Okay.
how I like to bring my y'all know how I like to bring my long articles. I don't know if
Oh,
you can
okay.
see it, Ronnie. I sent it to
Actually, I
you.
can see that one. Yeah, I can see that one.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. It's
15
normal.
reasons
Mm-hmm.
why you should never compare your relationship. I'm over here at marriage.com, guys. Y'all
Oh,
know this is
Lord.
big for me. Y'all know this is big for me, but I saw this article and it covers all of your relationships, professional, personal, familial, all that kind of stuff, right?
The
Professional man.
hidden ones. The hidden
Yeah,
ones.
you said the hidden one. Okay, look at this, guys. 15 reasons why you should never compare your relationship. Now I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna go through
Mm-hmm.
this real fast again. Okay. What does it mean to compare relationships? Comparing relationships means looking at a couple or more of them and seeing what's similar and different, or maybe what's better and what's worse. Okay? Why do people make relationship comparisons? Relationship comparisons genuinely a normal part of human nature in the same context as establishing healthy competitions throughout developmental stages from childhood up to adulthood in varied ways. So the first thing you want to learn about a person is their childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you want to learn about a person is their childhood. Because if
Yes.
you don't start there, everything is going to go wrong, right? So,
Yeah, you definitely can't ignore that.
why is it not healthy to compare your relationship to others? Digital landscape disallows realistic comparison among couples that can genuinely motivate or encourage, and instead cause what? Toxicity. And y'all
Toxicity.
get that?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all get that in the playlist. Why toxic relationships are the best relationship? Because either this is the nail in the coffin, or you've put the cap on where this relationship is going, right? The references you see on social media are explicitly for the audience. There is no consideration for the sincerity others might place on the post and how couples might use these as a relationship comparison. You don't even know the backstory. Okay? I love this one. First, no relationship is perfect. So when a person
That part.
continuously
Mm-hmm.
posts continuously how amazing their life together is, perhaps it is, but where's the growth or passion? Right? I'm just going through this one. The problem is, if two of you have what should be a healthy dynamic relationship, you'll still feel it's imperfect because these unrealistic examples on social media have set the standard for how you believe your relationship should now be measured.
Measured.
Rhonda, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think so far? What do you think so far? Is this thing crazy? Is it on point?
No, I definitely think it's on point. I love how it says first, highlighted. No relationship is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen people like sing praises about their spouses or their significant others, and I'm like, oh Lord,
Mm-hmm.
it's right up there with people posting their spouse and relationship on social media. That means they ain't hitting no 2 cents. They got to
Mm-hmm.
stroke somebody's ego for somebody to be okay. That's just my personal opinion. So no, I think this is great. Social media has made most relationships toxic, probably more than people care to admit. All because they're trying to emulate something that they see online that's not even
Absolutely.
real.
Real
And so,
Cigar
but
K
hey,
just Real Cigar K just got in the comment section, Ron. She says shows on Discovery ID proof everything people present in a relationship ain't what it appears to be, right?
mm-hmm,
Unrealistic relationships and expectations, right? And she was bringing up the Rick Ross thing. For all y'all that don't know, Rick Ross dumped the chick he was with,
mm-hmm.
and the chick was like, best time of my life. And everybody getting on her because she said, my business been booming. He came in, took my business to the next level. It ain't work out. I'm good. And everybody like, I
I'm
can't
a
believe you.
I'm gonna blame
Say
it on
what?
the hamburger helper.
There you go.
But go ahead.
So getting back to this article, 5
Mm-hmm.
tips to stop comparing your relationships with others. Focus
Mm.
on your own relationship,
Yes.
right? Focus on, and guys, before social media, this is what we did. The only time you fought was when you invited people over to your house. See, now you don't invite people over to your house, you just go live. Y'all just FaceTime and we video call and we don't need to invite you over to the house now, right? And when you
Mm-hmm. I don't
hang
have to
up,
clean my house up for y'all.
only thing I gotta have one room, I gotta have one clean room in my house, and it's this one. And every time
Mm.
I get in, I gotta move stuff around depending on how I show up on the camera. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Focus on your own relationship. Number 2, here's the big one: avoid social media.
That ain't gonna
Okay,
happen.
y'all get down in the playlist, man. We did. Is social media the main piece or the side piece? We did that video. It's a breeding ground for comparison. Never compare your relationship based on what you see online. Unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate,
I like
and
that
limit your
word.
time on social media. Right? That make you feel inadequate. What'd you say, Ronnie?
Inadequate, yeah. I like that word,
Mm-hmm.
inadequate. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys. When I see people on social media, here's how I know it's fake now. Social media got so many people producing their posts, like studios set up in their house. If y'all saw how I got this set up in this house, compared to some of these people who have just this is their business and they got a whole dedicated like green screen, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy, man. And so number 3, practice gratitude. Find the things you appreciate about your relationship and your partner, as it will help you never to compare your relationship. Tell your partner what you're grateful for in the relationship. Remember,
Mm.
guys, I said in the previous podcast, you got to have somebody you can smoke with, drink with, and eat with. You got to do 2 of the 3. If y'all ain't doing two of the three, it ain't gonna work. Nothing else helps a relationship more than drinking, smoking, and eating. You can't do those three, it's over. Communicate with your partner. And number 5, celebrate the differences. Celebrate the differences. Jump in there, Ron. Let me know what you think about those 5.
And listen, that celebrate your differences is something. I think that's probably key if you got your stuff together. We ain't celebrating nothing if things ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to celebrate your differences from that standpoint. But no, I mean this. I like how short this list is. Number one, so I appreciate that, JP. This
Well,
is.
we got to the 15.
Uh,
We ain't got to the 15 yet. She just breaking it down. We still got to go to the
okay.
15.
Okay. Okay. I think the only thing that I think is doable, the one thing I don't think is doable is avoiding social media. I think social media is such a big part of everybody's life right now that unless you are going to be proactively taking the app off your phone, that you're going to avoid social media to make it better. But again, do you need to have it all the time if it's not your business, if it's not
I'm,
part of
I'm,
your business model?
Ron, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
this to you. If it's somebody you think you can emulate on social media, send them
Mm-hmm.
a DM to say, "Hey, give me the details on how you did it, and I would love for you to be my mentor, so my relationship can be like yours. Can we have a phone call, or can we have a video call, so I can learn more about you and learn? Do you charge? Do you charge uh, to know how you do the things you're doing?" And if they say no, you know they lying to you, right?
Yeah.
If I call John Maxwell right now, he'll sell me something on leadership, right? If I call Tony
Mm-hmm.
Robbins, he gonna sell me something on leadership. See,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things you guys have got to understand is a lot of people on social media creating a digital paper trail so that they can show the judge how much they worked on the relationship in the divorce hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what they're trying to make sure that they land in a soft spot after the relationship is over, right? In the comments, before social media, relationships still had the same issues. It just took something traumatic to happen for people to say, "Oh my God, oh my goodness, they were the perfect couple goals." And you're right. But now social media is out there. People go on their stories, people go live, people do whatever, and they have that emotional moment and then they try to erase it. But you can erase it, but somebody is on social media recording every one of your posts. Okay? So one of the things you guys are going to find here is what we're trying to let you know is once you get to this comparison stage, and that's why this article is saying why you should never compare it. Because once you go down this route, you cannot reverse it, right? If I start comparing you to others, I'm thinking about that other person now, and I'm gonna act
Probably
on
more
that
than you should. More than you
more than I
should.
should, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
now, if I'm comparing that person, what I focus on is where I spend my time. And so, if I'm comparing and criticizing you, or competing with you, now I'm criticizing you. But that means I'm complimenting somebody else that you don't know about. See, you got to have both in your life, fellas, ladies. If your significant other is criticizing you, he or she is complimenting the other person that's in their life that you don't know about. Because comparison and criticism don't come out of nowhere. Would you agree with that, Ron?
No, it does. Yeah, I agree with that. It doesn't come out
Yeah,
of nowhere.
it don't
Right.
come out of nowhere,
Yeah.
right? In all
Mm-hmm.
fairness to a spouse or a partner, to compare relationships is wrong on many levels, but primarily because we're all unique. You will always find that your partner is lacking since the traits you're looking for belong to someone else. Guys, if
Mm.
you're in a relationship
Mm.
where
Mm.
somebody
Mm.
is
Mm.
comparing and competing with you, they have somebody else. Because it didn't come out of nowhere. And guess what, guys? Because of social media, it may not mean they have somebody else physically. They may have somebody digitally. What do you think about Ronald when you hear me say that?
But listen now, with AI and all this stuff coming along, I can see how somebody could have something digitally because 9 times out of 10, it's a fantasy anyway. Somebody that's not going to
Mm-hmm.
be arguing with you, somebody who's always going to be propping you up or telling you how great you are and all this and all that. I don't think too many people would run from that. It's just, again, it's just when that other person catch some feelings. Now, if one of the people catch feelings and you already got a significant other, then that's where the issue's gonna come in. But
And,
yeah, I think if people would be honest about their relationships, they probably have somebody. if not multiple people, that they're in their
digitally,
DMs on some
digitally.
in some form of fashion. Yeah, some
Mm-hmm.
form of fashion. To get whatever is missing in their main relationship.
It's so funny,
You know.
Rhonda, that you say that. One of the things when I post on social media, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's for my business or whether it's personal, I turn off the likes, I hide the likes, and I turn off all comments.
Yeah.
I had the likes and I turn off all comments
Mm-hmm.
because you better cut that stuff off. Because here's the deal: somebody gonna get in them comments because they know how you're wired, and they're gonna do something to ruin your relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is where, guys, when I'm talking about they got somebody personally or they have somebody digitally, OnlyFans, they slide
Or
into
both.
somebody's DMs or both, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's Round to be getting on y'all. Look, number one, a compar- a comparative relationship is unrealistic. Okay, when you met your person, when you met your partner, you found this person to be an unusual character that specifically answered your needs in a way that only they could. You never thought you would compare that relationship with anyone. This is why, guys, if comparison and competition comes in, it's over. Get down in the playlist, guys. We did this 50-50 work in relationships. What did I say? 50-50 creates competition. Now you start focusing on what the other person ain't doing to pull their 50%. Okay. Number two, toxicity. When you begin comparing your girlfriend to others or your boyfriend to another, it sparks a nagging sensation that perhaps something is missing in you. They become obsessive and not worth the effort, since you'll always find something you believe is more gratifying than what you have and that you need to try for and you'll never achieve. And one of the things I loved about that is you are with the person you qualified for.
Mm-hmm.
You are with the person you qualified for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I could want a G Wagon, but I qualify for a C class. And ain't nothing wrong with a C class, just like ain't nothing wrong with a G
But it
Wagon.
ain't.
But
But it ain't no G wagon.
but you better know what you're qualified for. And I'm just going through this
Mm.
thing real fast, guys. Missing what's great. Never compare your relationship, as it can divert from what's worth appreciating. Okay? What happened to being happy for others? What I'm trying to tell you guys is that social media has made it so you can't be happy for others. You like it, but you just click that like to keep going through the post. But let some drama happen. You got to get down into the comments.
Yeah.
And the algorithm knows how you're wired. That's why you look down at somebody posting something positive and it got 100 likes. The girl telling her business in a 50-part series, 100 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Number five, sometimes it's okay to let it pinch. Probably most of us have fantasies of traveling the world, fine dining, and elaborate lifestyle. When you see someone else living these dreams, it can sometimes send a ping of jealousy, ultimately leading you looking at your partner to compare relationships and wondering why you can't have it. Perhaps your friend is in a hot tub at a 5-star hotel in Paris, and another
Mm.
friend dining at a posh restaurant in the big city. Maybe they're celebrating a special anniversary and it was a gift from a family member, or they're using credit card points. I just put that in there. That ain't in the article. In any case, it's okay to be envious as long as you let it go and don't allow the emotions to fester. Okay, guys? Number six, unattainable expectations. You create expectations that this partner can't meet. And guys, that's why I'm telling you, when your partner starts, when your relationship starts comparison and competition, it's over. They know you can't meet it.
But we don't know what they presented them with, though.
Even still, they know you can't meet it.
Mm.
I'm only
Yeah.
going. I know you can't meet it. That's why I'm doing it, because I've already left. I may be there physically, but I'm no longer there spiritually and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you start criticizing people, it's over. Okay. Number seven. Why would you merely leave? Why wouldn't you merely leave? Well, breaking up is hard to do. Because here's what happens. If you leave, the truth gonna come out about why you were criticizing and comparing this person. That's why you don't leave. You can't mold someone in your idea of a perfect partner. Now I'm adding my other line in here. Because you're not the perfect partner. So you can't mold somebody into one. Number eight is rude and demeaning. I'm gonna just get through these. Number nine, how would you feel? Notice, guys, they're saying this is one-sided. The person who is the most in love is not criticizing. It's the person who hate they're in a relationship that's comparing and criticizing.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, nothing is perfect. Number 11, unnecessary stress. I almost said stress. Sorry, guys, stress. Number 12, it can be unfair to your partner. Number 13, it can create competition. Number 14, it can damage trust. It can be damaging to your mental health. Y'all got to understand, this is something that is one-sided. They finished up with these questions. Is it normal to compare yourself to your partner? Sorry about that, guys. Hold on. Is it healthy to compare your partner to others and embrace the uniqueness of your relationship? Rhonda, give me your thoughts on that thing.
You talking about embracing the whole thing? Talking about the
No,
all
just the whole
15?
thing. Just the whole thing. I
Just in
kind of went
general?
through it, but yeah.
Yeah, because you did. Look, you know how I feel about mental health stuff. Like if you ain't got that together again, all these other things are able to happen with no problem. It's like you're welcoming it in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have that mindset together, again, why are you even with somebody other than for them to try to make you feel better about yourself when you're the only one that can make yourself feel better
Mm-hmm.
about yourself. Like don't bring that mess and don't put that on nobody else. Like just talk to somebody. But I think these are some good points. You always find some great articles, man. I must say that to you. You always find some to back up the topics and stuff. So but the that unattainable expectation though really stuck with me because it makes me wonder because we do present ourselves a certain way when we meet somebody, right? Like we're putting our best foot forward,
Yes.
having everything in place, and then next thing you know, all that stuff is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's slowly dwindles down. So was it an unattainable one, or it's just that you put up a front to begin with, and now here we are?
That's it. That's it. Because guess what, guys? The majority of us in America got taught to fake in front. Fake it till you make it. Well, now when
Mm-hmm.
reality kicks in, like I said, guys, the one thing I take away from this article is only one person comparing and criticizing, comparing and competing. The person on the receiving end of it, you're the one that's in love, and that's why you are the most susceptible to hurt and pain. The person who doing it to you, letting you know that the relationship is one sided,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why family first
Yeah.
doesn't work. This is why family first doesn't work. That alkaline or non-alkaline. That's why family first. That's why family first doesn't work. Okay, because if you're saying family first, the other family members don't see you that way.
Joe
And
don't.
the best part about it is you're doing everything for family, and that person is like, why do they do this for me? Rhonda Shirt say what? Rule number 1: never be
Don't be
number 2.
Jeeps.
In your whole life, you done been taught put others first.
Yes.
So the reason why she got to put that on the shirt is to remind herself every day that what you got taught about being number 2 means you just keep getting pushed down the list. Number 2 never raises to number 1, guys. Number 2 never raises to number 1. Number 2 gonna keep moving down the list. So when you guys see us talking about is comparison and competing, killing your relationship, the reality of it is, guys, that relationship already over once it starts. I
Start.
gave you
Mm-hmm.
guys this article because it works across any relationship. Once your boss start comparing and competing, putting you in a competitive situation, that job done.
Yeah.
That job is done. Once your significant other starts comparing you, it's done. Once your family starts comparing you, y'all know how many people grew up in families where the children were competing against each other, right?
Yeah.
Here's the deal: Rhonda
Everywhere.
just brought up, Rhonda, ain't that true? You just brought up Kate, Princess Kate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meghan Markle somewhere saying, "I don't care what she's going through." Right?
That's
You
right.
notice Meghan Markle.
Keep on
Meghan
going
Markle
through.
ain't released. Meghan Markle ain't released no statement, right? So I'm saying all that to say this to you guys: when we jump on these podcasts, this is for entertainment purposes only. Some of y'all may be getting turned on by comparison and competition,
Mm.
right? If that's the nature of y'all relationship and that's what motivates y'all, by all means, man, by all means, make it work. Okay. But I think that one of the things you'll see when you read that article is if you're doing this unintentionally and it's truly not here in your heart, stop it now. Because if you're in a relationship with a person, that relationship, if you keep going now, knowing that after you listen to this podcast, that relationship is not going to last much longer. Jump in there, Ron, and let me know what you think.
Listen, if it's one thing that I'm learning every day as I get older, is you got to know when to leave. You you got to know when to leave. You got to know when to stop. And yes, I get it. Right? If it's easier for you to just to stay in that relationship and do your thing, and you could live separately and do all that type of stuff, like I could commend you. But outside of who you're dating, like just leave those people where they are, because if it's not gonna work, man, it's just not gonna work. That's all I'm saying. If it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work.
But I'm gonna say
Just
this
know
to you, though, Ron.
when.
I'm gonna say this to
Is
you.
it Kenny Rogers who said you got
What
to know
if
when to
this
hold them,
is
know
if
when to
your
fold them?
relationship? No, no, no. I'm gonna say this to y'all. If your relationship is purely based on physical, that's what drives comparison and competition. Right?
Mm.
Here's the funny thing, right? I was in the gym working out this morning. And ain't nothing worse than when you at the weight rack next to somebody and you deadlifting and they deadlifting. And you look at what you got on the bar, and then you look at what they got on the bar. Right? So today I just got on my phone till he finished.
Mm.
Right?
You didn't even try.
Because I ain't even try. But
You
look,
gave up the ghost.
20 years ago, if he had 4 plates on that deadlift, I'm doing it too. But you know what? I knew he was competing against me. And so I just said, okay, man, I'm going to get on my phone, send out some emails. I go work out 5:30 in the morning. So if you
Mm-hmm.
competing against somebody at 5:30 in the morning, you got a problem. I came in here. I'm on level 1 on the treadmill. I'm in here watching TV. I ain't in
Mm-hmm.
here the same reason you in here. I'm not trying to get a woman or anything like that. I'm literally coming in here so my blood pressure don't go through the roof. I can keep my
Mm.
cholesterol down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can try to act like I'm getting rid of this gut. As
That
y'all
gut
see
ain't
me
going
do,
nowhere.
ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. But you got to give the appearance that you working on it, right? Because if I say, man, I work out 4 or 5 days a week, I get up first thing in the morning to go work out, I cannot get rid of this gut. You know what people gonna say? Jeff, you hang in there. But if I didn't work out and I complained about my gut, get your ass to the gym then, right?
Mm.
Look, when people see you working toward it, they're gonna be a little bit more positive. They don't realize I'm just sitting in there watching the news, catching up on whatever topic I'm gonna do. But yeah, if I see you next to me and you got 3 or 4 plates on each side of that bar, and I'm over there with my 25s on each side of the bar, I'll just wait till you finish. Cause the
Yeah.
girl you trying to get, she ain't looking at me. But in your mind, you think she's looking at me. And she not. Why? Cause I ain't looking at her. I ain't
She's probably
looking
looking
at
at all
her.
y'all.
But right. But see, the number one thing is you already starting off with comparison and competition.
Well, in the gym now, everybody's there just to post for the gram or to post for social media, post for TikTok or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? Like that's just where we are with it. Especially if you in the just in the gym, like lifting your free weights and stuff like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's just the way of the world now. I don't know how these people now are going to grow old because they ain't gonna be able to take it,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just
but it ain't
and
gonna
look,
stay that way.
we didn't even get into the gym because some of y'all couples going to the gym competing against each other, mad that he or she can't lift a certain amount, fighting over what you gonna work on today. Some of y'all going to the gym because you don't trust him or her to go to the gym by herself.
That's
All
probably
like
more what it is.
look, if y'all fighting over the gym, guys, this is a problem. I rolled out of the gym the other day. I'm leaving out. It's 6:30, 6:45. Couple out there fighting. Normally, when you see them in the gym, they working out together. Today, they weren't working out together.
Mm-hmm.
When she walked to that part of the gym, he walked to the other side. Now they outside fighting. Over what? Why would you over what? But Ronnie, we gonna jump into that topic. Is the
Mm-hmm.
gym? Is the
Oh
gym the
Lord.
biggest threat to the relationship? Because there's some
Mm.
crazy stuff going on in the gym. And I've been like, man, I got to get this on the podcast. Because the
Mm-hmm.
stuff I'm seeing in the gym, you got some people coming in there that really got medical conditions that they need to address. Then you got people coming in there as their number one target of trying to figure out who they gonna date next or who they gonna harass next. And then they just follow this person around the gym. And it's sad to watch it. And you just see the stalking going on. You see the stalking going on. It's just crazy. But I gotta perfect the topic first before we get into this.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get
Mm-hmm.
into this gym thing. Now, Rhonda, before we get out of here, what's your final takeaway from this topic tonight?
Well, I'm gonna stand on what I started with. Like, yes, comparison and competition is killing your relationship. Um, man, listen, just be upfront with people. And if you ain't ready to be upfront about who you are as a person, then don't get in no relationship. And if you do decide otherwise to go ahead on and get in that relationship, I hope every bit of unhappiness come to you in many, many folds.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's irresponsible.
Yes.
I think that's
Yes.
irresponsible. But don't have that unattainable expectation. That's what I got from this today, from that article that you had.
Mm-hmm.
And don't
Mm-hmm.
have no unnecessary mental health issues. Also, that you could be competing and comparing yourself with somebody when the only person you should be comparing and competing with is yourself, the person the day before. Did you do better than what you were before?
And I appreciate that because you started off by making it internal, and I was going the external route, and that's going to change what I'm saying about my final takeaway, which
Mm-hmm.
is if you're the person on the receiving end, go put your energy into a hobby for you. Stop putting your energy in the person that's comparing and criticizing or competing against you. Go find a hobby that you always wanted to do, because the person on the receiving end of the comparison and the criticism, put their preferences aside. Go ahead and put those hobbies that you always wanted to pick up. You go pick it up for yourself. Because the reason a person is criticizing you and comparing you is they don't know how to be loved. They only know how to be treated like crap. And you're not
Mm-hmm.
treating them like crap. So if you don't treat them like crap, they don't know how to actually reciprocate anything to you. So go put that love and that passion and that energy and your treasure into something for you. Go pick up that hobby you always wanted to do. Because what I'm going to tell you guys, if you open a door and a dog run out, if you chase the dog is going to keep running. But if you just leave the door open, the dog will eventually come back. The person who's criticizing and competing against you is only doing it because they know you're giving them an audience. Stop giving them an audience and go focus on you. Pick up that hobby that you always wanted to do and watch, guys. Because if you don't want to lead a person, or you're in a position where you can't lead or whatever, focus on you. Because the only reason y'all are at this stage is because you have neglected you, and you can't pour out of an empty cup. Go fill your cup up, and the criticism and the competition and the comparison leaves, man. And y'all know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast, man. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. Look below in the description. Support the channel. Get the merch. Find me on all the socials, man. Y'all know I got to thank the Family Affair Edition. My dog came through for me again, man. Rhonda, tell them where they can find you on the socials.
You can find me on Instagram at RMB Thanks, JB, again for having
Man,
me on.
appreciate you being on. Y'all get down in the comments, man. Let us know what y'all think about this, man, because we believe y'all got some thoughts. Be negative, be positive. We don't care, man. This is for entertainment purposes only. We just giving y'all an outlet to be able to help your relationships get stronger. And until next time, we gonna holler.